My testimony for Jesus is that I was a Baptist evangelical youth pastor. All my life, I was a Christian in church, and I truly believed that I needed to be part of a church to be well-pleasing to God. I thought they were the ones who would hold me accountable. They were the ones I would donate to, give my 10% to. They would encourage me and I would encourage them as iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. And I truly believed I would always be part of church ministries, and building up the church organization because I thought it was the will of God for me. I became a youth pastor, and for about 7 years, I worked as a junior high youth pastor. I had a weekly ministry where I would preach the gospel, reading students the Bible. I believed myself to be very godly because I was biblical. Everything I taught was from the Bible. Never would I do a sermon without reading from the Bible. I brought kids to camp, and occasionally I would preach sermons in big church. I had a lot of confirmation from adults because they really believed my ministry was biblical. But after about 7 years, I started to have some hardships in my life that really brought me into prayer. I really started seeking Jesus with all of my might. And I started having dreams and visions from Jesus, and the Holy Spirit started speaking to me while I was praying. One of the things that Jesus told me is that I was on my way to hell along with most people in my family, and the church I was going to, as well as the whole organized church of today, is as a whorehouse to Jesus. He told me it is as a whorehouse because as a prostitute sleeps around with many men for money, so the organized church is prostituting herself out to sin in the world. The church is accepting all the sins of the world and all the sinners of the world. They're just accepting it. And as long as you're going to church and paying your tithe, they will accept you as a member. Jesus called me out of the church. He said that if I wanted to follow him, I must leave church and the ideas of church behind. I had to detach from all my wise counselors, including people in my family, my pastors, my mentors. I could not follow Jesus as my teacher and have men who were my counselors. I had to choose. I chose Jesus, and I chose Jesus and not church because Jesus himself called me out of church. It wasn't because I just thought, well, everyone in church is hypocrites and it's all full of hypocrisy and I don't want to be a part of church because hypocrites go there. It wasn't because I wanted to be lazy or anything like that. It was because Jesus himself called me out of church, calling it a whorehouse. And if I wanted to be right with Jesus, I had to leave and detach from my wise counselors who were there and all the doctrines of men. If we follow Jesus, we have to be separate from people who pull us astray. If we're going to enter the kingdom of heaven, we have to be fully focused on Jesus and pushing our way into the kingdom. Jesus said that it is with violence that we push into the kingdom of heaven. Not with physical violence, but with violence against sin and wickedness. Our battle is not against people, but it is against principalities, it is against wickedness, it is against the demonic. We need to be serious about pursuing Jesus. People in church are not serious. To them, it is a club. It is a social club that donates their money so that they can do things like go on mission trips and pay their bills for their church service. But those who follow Jesus are dedicated to him. Jesus says that if we love him, we will obey him and keep his commandments. And if we start walking with Jesus, he himself will take care of all of our needs. He is our master. He is our counselor. And he is our good shepherd who takes care of us. Are you following Jesus by his Holy Spirit? Or are you trying to follow Jesus in church by listening to the doctrines of men and of demons? May the grace of Jesus be with you.